Hello, this is Eddie with Fast Eddies. We're here looking at a dryer, Samsung dryer. Customer complaint is when you hit start, hear a click, but no, it doesn't run. I know from experience with this that it's something to do with most likely the belt switch or door switch or something along those lines, most likely. So the belts break on them a lot of times, even the pulleys go bad. But the best way to find this out is to go ahead, go to the door, and rotate this drum and see if it rotates freely. Because you can feel if it's connected to the blower wheel, and if it kind of rotates freely, you know right away that the belt is not hooked up, and that's the reason why it's happening. Okay, so to get to this, to go further into it, past this point, we have to take it apart. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is there's two screws here. One screw on that corner behind there on the back side of this, and one screw on this side. Okay, this top will slide back and come out of the way. Once we get that off, I'll show you more. Okay, now if you look here on the side here, let's see how we can see this. Yeah, you see right here, just a little snap. All you have to do on these is kind of pull up and pull forward. And just kind of pull forward. Make sure your door's open. When you do this, just pull up and pull forward. Make sure here, just kind of just pop loose. And then we're gonna have two cords there. Okay, now you got a screw here, screw here, screw here, and screw there, along the top. And you got a screw there, and a screw there. Okay, and then you got a little tab there, you got to push down on. And back behind that switch, there's a plug. Okay, see the plug? There it is. Unplug that plug. It comes out of the way. We have four more screws. Right there, right there, right there, right there. And you have a cord to unplug right there. That's what it looks like from a far view. Now you also have a screw right there. And then you also have a screw right there and a screw right there. Now before you remove this whole assembly, okay, this whole thing here, I would remove this and clean out the lint, okay? And then put this back on it, except for this screw. I put this screw and this screw back on. And then once you get that cleaned out, put it back together, and then once you get this cleaned out, you can put this back on it, on the assembly, and then remove the whole assembly. Now I removed this one, but there was no lint in it, okay? So I just went ahead and put it back on. It slides down and slides back on. Real easy. You do have to pull the lint filter out when you go to do that. When you go to put it back on, it's not going to be easy to put on unless you pull it. See here. Now we're going to go ahead and remove this out of here. You need to pay attention to those wires. You're going to have to push up on this assembly. And you got some spots that these are hung in place on. So I'm going to push up. Most of the time I've been able to get this loose without having to take this upper part loose. Now I notice that this front piece actually fits up under here. Okay. Now most models I can do this without removing this piece, but we're going to have to go ahead and kind of take this loose a little bit. But we're not going to totally remove it. We're just kind of, leave it loose. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this screw and the screw right here. Okay. Okay, so we've removed those two screws. We're going to push up on this. Watch out for sharp metal. So we pushed up on that. You can see that little piece up in there. Now we can get our wires loose. Just twist these. And then pull the wires out. There's another one up in there on that metal bracket side. Do the same thing. Now I'm making this for a general video for Samsung dryers. Your dryer may vary. Like I said, most of the time I can get this out of here without removing that piece, without doing anything to it. Although sometimes they're just tighter than others, you know. You kind of just have to see if yours will let you do it or not. Don't bend metal to get this thing apart. It don't take all that. Okay, now we can get this thing out of the way. Just lift up on it. It comes out of the way. That easy. And as you can see, that we got the tubs left in there. I'm gonna move this out of the way and. Okay, well at this point, we can figure out what's wrong. Lift up on it. You got smaller arms, probably better. If you look there, that's supposed to be an idler pulley. Okay, it's supposed to be a white idler pulley on that. The idler pulley has come apart. It's left the inner sheath, and the plastic pulley itself is gone. It's probably worn off. It's probably just rolled off somewhere on the bottom here. Now the belt looks intact. However, when that happens, I'd recommend replacing that belt. Like I said, I said before, you know, results may vary, you know. If you want to make sure not to have to do this again, replace the belt. If you're just trying to get by and get it done as cheap as possible and not worry about the little extras, and you know, throw a pulley on it, see if you can get away with it. But I'm gonna get on that pulley and remove it, which I think all you have to do. Now this thing is unplugged. Yeah, I can rotate this thing right off of it. There's nothing really keeping it in place. You have that. See? So that's what's wrong with that. We're going to take our rag and we're going to wipe up the pulley surface. Okay? Make sure there's nothing on there. You might get some maybe some degreaser or something like that, or something to clean it up with. You want to get that stuff off of it, whatever's on it. You don't want to seize up the new one. And I don't put no lubricant on them. I haven't seen no, because what happens is the lubricant causes it to get sticky, and that lubricant will, because the way the metal, the pulleys themselves are impregnated with a lubricant. So you shouldn't have to really lubricate the shaft with any grease or anything, because like I said, the shaft, the metal itself that the pulley is made out of is impregnated. So you shouldn't have to worry about that. Okay, so I got it clean. I got it all wiped off. That came off of it. That's kind of what we're just looking at right now. I'm sticking my hand up in here, and I'm just cleaning that pulley with my hand. Like, as you can get right on it. It's not hard to do once you get to this point. I'll go ahead and slide that belt off of there, and we'll put a belt on it and a pulley. Yeah. I'll be back here. I gotta get the pulley and the belt together. Okay, there's a new pulley. Now you can make a little clip. I don't have the little, I don't know how. There's a little clip, little plastic clip that you can put on these. I've seen a lot of these with no clip at all. I think they're made without clips. I don't even, a lot of them I haven't even seen them on there. But whenever I put a pulley on one of these, I've always put a clip on it, like a Whirlpool style idler pulley clip, or not idler pulley clip, but dryer drum wheel clip. It's like a triangle, but I've also had to make my own clips before. And what you can do is take a piece of like Romex copper and make like a little C out of it, about the diameter of the shaft, and then you can just pop that on there, because the way that this shape is, and that should keep it in place. It's something rather than nothing, is my thought on it. But we're going to slide that thing on there. It goes on, let's see here, it goes on that way, I'm pretty sure. I'll take that back. It goes on this way. That part goes towards the metal bracket, okay? And we're just going to slide it on there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, once I get it on there, I'll show you what it looks like on there. And we'll go from there. There's our pulley. That's what it's supposed to look like with it on there. Went ahead and move the drum here so you can see some more of this. You can see right there, there's a right there, and right. See here, I'm trying to get where you can see there. Yeah, you can see right there. That's where the spring goes for the pulley. So if you knock it off, like I did, then you can put it back on there. The trick to putting it back on is you put the, see here, is it better like this? Let's see if we can do it like this. So we put this on just like so. Let it kind of fall down on it. See? Let it kind of, you put it on the pulley side, the pulley side, and then let it fall down into that groove on the other side. Problem is, every time you get to this point, it's going to want to come loose on you. It's going to be a little bit of a fight to do everything and keep that thing in place. So, just to be forewarned, it's not fun. But we're going to put the drum back on. And that's what those little keepers look like. See here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but if you can, there's what it looks like. The one that I did. Now these drums fit the same, like they fit in either way. They might be worn different, just because of the wear and tear on them, but they're made to fit either way. You can put them in, flip-flop them if you need to, or if you forget which way you pulled it out. And what you're going to do from here is put the belt around it. We're going to use the same one that came off of it, because it was perfect. So there it is. We're going to put it around it. I don't know if you can see down in there. And that's how you pull that pulley on. That's how you get that pulley on right there. That's kind of how I have my hand wrapped on it. Like you have to get your hand in between the belt and that. Like your hand's going to be on this side, in between the drum and the belt. And you got to get your hand around that and force that belt around it. Okay. Sharp metal, guys. Okay, now what you want to do is once you get that in place, you want to turn this back. You want to get it in place, turn it back so if this thing's going to fall off, you want it to fall off now, not after you get it together. See, I can tell that it's fixing to come loose. So if I tell it's fixing to come loose, you can go ahead and kind of work it back in place so that you don't have to pop it loose. So then once you get it back on there, you just kind of until you see here catching again, and you just keep doing it until you get it to rotate freely. Okay, I think we got it. Now once you've done that, you kind of want to rotate it back the opposite way with both hands on it and see where that belt lines up on that pulley. Because if it's in a bind, then it'll ruin that new pulley. You can see that pulley, it lines up about dead in the middle, so we're good to go on that. We have to bend. What you do is that if that belt wouldn't line up in the middle of that pulley, you'd have to bend that bracket just a hair. Okay, you don't want to bend too hard because you just break it. But you bend a little bit until you get that that belt to kind of line up right in the middle. Again, whenever I'm doing all this, I'm getting that tub pushed up in there and even. Okay, it's very important. You don't want to rotate that thing with that gap at the top. You need to push the tub up and line everything up to the back, and then turn it when you go. So we're gonna put it back together now. Okay, I got it hung back up there. I'm gonna pop this thing back into place. Don't forget to put your wires back on your spots there. Then we're gonna put our screws back in, and I think I've shown everything. I think it's pretty much just a reverse of what you did. Take it apart from here. If you need to, just watch the video over and over again. You know, at the beginning to see how you put it back together. It's pretty easy. And we'll. I don't have no way to plug this in right now. That's the wrong dryer cord for this, so we won't be able to see it run. You kind of have to just take my word for it. But I mean, it was obvious what was wrong once we got it apart. But I'll go ahead and show that it's back together, and all right, it's back together. We're good to go. The customer's gonna have to test run it when he gets a chance because we have to get on out of here. If you like it, subscribe. You know, have a good day. Bye.